Jhalak Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication. Welcomes you to the session of Power Electronics. Today I am going to discuss about Unit 4, that is inverters, with topic PWM inverter. So let's start the session. First of all, as we already discussed about the pulse width modulation in the unit number 3 for the step up and step down choppers. In case of step down choppers, we have seen that there are such controlling technique of voltage for it. In unit number 3 for step up and step down chopper, we have seen that there is some controlling technique. One of the technique for controlling the voltage in case of the step down chopper is PWM, that is pulse width modulated. So here also for inverters to control the specified voltage, here the PWM inverters can be used. So here it is possible to control the output voltage. The next thing is here the output voltage can be changed by changing the pulse width. So by changing the proper pulse width or by adjusting the pulse width from D to D by 2 or D by 3 or maybe the 2 times of the distance, we can change or adjust the output voltage accordingly. So here to reduce the main purpose of this pulse width modulation is, as we already seen in the case of inverter, either we take the case of the half wave inverter or the full wave inverter, that there are some kinds of harmonics generated, and due to that the harmonic factor will be accordingly around the 60 to 90%. So here by using this pulse width modulation, the lower order of harmonics can be reduced using it. The next feature is harmonic can be reduced without use of filter. Obviously the harmonics are reduced, but for that in the earlier case we use some filter technique, but here in this case there is no need of filter, so this is the biggest advantage of PWM for inverter. Also the input power factor is high. Power factor is always a resistive term or real term divided by the reactive term. So here if this term is high, then we can say that there is a more amount of active power generated, and active power is one of the useful power. So here in this case the input power factor is high, and that is the biggest advantage of using the PWM control technique. Next is there are some various PWM techniques. The classification of PWM techniques are: first one is single pulse width modulation, the second one is symmetric pulse width modulation, the third one is sinusoidal pulse width modulation, fourth one is modified pulse width modulation, and the last one is phase displacement control. In each of the techniques, we change the width of the pulse or the waveform and then get the result accordingly. In this session, we will see about the first and second PWM technique for controlling the voltage of inverter. So let's start first with single pulse width modulation. So for single pulse width modulation, here you have to assume that the unmodulated output waveform, we have to modulate the waveform with respect to the voltage V. So here in this case, let's assume that the unmodulated output voltage waveform is that, and the output voltage for RMS is equal to V volt. So for that RMS value here, instead of the pulse duration of 180 degree, means in case of, even we take the case of the step up chopper or step down chopper or maybe the rectifiers or control rectifiers, in each case we have seen that after the interval pi, means after the interval of 180 degree, it will change the phase and go to the negative cycle. But in case of the single pulse width modulation, here the center point will be taken at 90 degree or 270 degree instead of this 180 degree. This you should keep in mind, that instead of pulse duration of pi, you have to take the 90 or 270 degree. So if we do the Fourier analysis, why we do the Fourier analysis? Because we want to get the Fourier coefficient, and by using the coefficient we can get the fundamental value. And once we get the fundamental value of harmonics, we can get the displacement factor or harmonic factor, or we can calculate the power dissipated or the efficiency of the inverter. So for this, let's consider that En is equal to 0, Bn is equal to 4V upon n pi sin ND. Here n denotes the number of harmonics. So n can be either even or odd number of harmonics. V is the voltage and pi is the constant. So here distance d will give us the value of the pulse width. So it may be a multiple of 2, maybe a multiple of 4, or you can take the any value for this distance d. But n denotes the order of harmonics. So here, if the order of harmonic is of odd number, then you should use the formula, that is 4v upon n pi sin and d for odd number of harmonic, and if there are even number of harmonics present in the system, then you should take Bn equal to 0. Same thing for the third coefficient, Cn equal to 4v upon n pi sin and d, same as Bn, but in case of Bn, positive as well as negative value of this harmonic coefficient will be possible, but in case of the Cn, only the positive value is generated, means plus 4v upon n pi sin and d is possible, but for this you should take into consideration that a number of n, means number of harmonics, should be odd if you take the value 4v upon n pi sin and d, and for even number of harmonics is 0. Now for the fundamental component of modulation, here let's see this graph. Here you can see that the frequency versus the coefficient graph is there, and here the frequency component is f, 3f and 5f is there. Means the fundamental third order of harmonic and fifth order of harmonic is there. Here instead of the value n, we put the value 3 for the second one, 4v upon n pi sin and d. So instead of n, if we put the value 3, means it gives us the value of third harmonic. So it is 4v upon 3 pi sin and d. For the fifth number of harmonic, you can see that 4v upon 5 pi, 4v upon n pi, instead of n, we put value 5. So 4v upon 5 pi sin pi d. So this is the graph of the fundamental component of harmonics. Here again, if we want to take the fundamental value, it is 4v upon pi, and when the output voltage is square wave, then in this case the distance d will be taken as pi by 2. So if d equal to pi by 2 means it is a square waveform. So in that case, if we put the value, then it gives us the fundamental value of RMS voltage as 0.904, means 90% will be converted to the modulated signal. By this value, we can conclude that 90% of signal will be converted. Now, how one can generate the modulated waveform? So, for modulated waveform, we can compare it with rectangular signal with triangular signal. So, here the rectangular signal is one of the output signal, and triangular signal gives us a carrier signal. So, by using the output frequency and the carrier frequency, we can calculate the modulation index. Modulation index can be denoted by the small m, and it is the ratio of the output frequency upon carrier frequency, means FO upon FC. Here, the frequency of reference signal decides the fundamental frequency of output, and the number of harmonics generated can be seen by the carrier signal. So here, let's see this waveform. So here, one reference signal is there. You can see this rectangular signal is our reference signal, and triangular one is our carrier signal. So according to it, you can see the output voltage will depend on 3 pi by 2, means it will create on 90 degree and 270 degree. So you can see that the center point is at this 270 degree, or even for pi by 2 it will be at 90 degree. So it gives maximum value at 90 and 270 instead of 180 degree. So by using the reference or carrier signal, you can generate the output voltage waveform. Now let's take the second case of the pulse width modulation, that is symmetric pulse width modulation. So for symmetric pulse width modulation, you can say that the several pulses are generated. But now, which type of several pulses are generated? So each pulse is at an equal distance. If we talk about the positive half, Then if we take the case of positive half, that each signal will be separated by f, then 2 times f, and then 3 times f. Then in the same way, in the negative half, these signals or pulses are separated by f, 3 times f, and 5 times f, means as a multiple of a frequency. So here let's see what happens. Here the pulse width can be changed by changing the amplitude of reference signal, as in the case of earlier we have seen that if the value of the reference signal as well as the carrier signal is changed, then also the output frequency can be changed. And if we talk about the triangular waveform, then triangular waveform decides the number of pulses per half cycle. Means how many number of pulses will be passed from the waveform, that can be decided by the triangular one. And what is the value of output voltage, that can be decided by the rectangular pulse, that is called, gives us the reference signal. So here the number of pulses will be given by m by 2. Here m is the modulation index and it is a ratio of output frequency upon input frequency. So if you want to take give the equation of the modulation or the number of pulses per half cycle, so number of pulses per half cycle will be given by P equal to m divided by 2, means fc upon fo upon fc divided by 2. Here you can see that in the one cycle, if you see the upper half, then in the positive half cycle you can see that there is a distance of pi by t between 1 and 2. So the same distance between in the negative half cycle between t plus 1 and t plus 2, they are also separated by pi by t distance. Even if you talk about the second as well as the t number, then there is also the equal distance between the negative half cycle between the second and the p number of pulse. So in this way, the symmetric pulse width modulation can happen. Now let's see the generation of SMM, means the symmetric modulation. For the symmetric modulation, the frequency of reference signal decides the output frequency, as I earlier said, and the carrier frequency will decide the number of pulses. So number of pulses depend on the value of m, means value of modulation index. And again, this value of modulation index will depend on the output frequency as well as the carrier frequency. Okay, so if you know about both the values, you can easily generate the SMM. So here you can see that is a symmetric pulse of square, as well as the symmetricity will be shown in case of the triangular one. So both will decide the number of counts that will be passed from the symmetric modulation. Now let's see one example related to it. So consider the problem statement that a single phase full bridge inverter has a RMS value of fundamental component of 110 volt. You have to calculate the pulse width required and RMS value of output voltage in case of the source has a 220 volt of voltage. So first, let's consider the graph. Here the reference signal is given. Here again the pi, it will be created the center value at pi by 2 as well as 3 pi by 2 instead of 180 degree. Here both has a distance of 2 times d. So for this, here we can see that the pulse width of 2d and it is centered around the 90 degree and 270 degree. So first let's take the Fourier coefficient. So Fourier coefficient for this is an equal to 0. Obviously for dn equal to, here we take the case of odd number of harmonics. So that's why we use the equation of dn as 4b upon n by sin nb. If it is clearly mentioned that even number of harmonics are there, then you have to take the value 0. If no data is mentioned in the problem statement, you should go for the odd number of harmonics. So 4b upon n by sin nb for the dn, and the cn third harmonic is coefficient is 4b upon n by sin nb. Now for the RMS value of the fundamental component, it is given by the Cn divided by root 2. Why divided by root 2? Because we have to calculate the RMS value. So if we put the values for the fundamental, means n equal to 1. So it gives value 4b upon root 2 by sin d. So if you calculate the 4b upon root 2 pi sine d, then it can be written like this: 4b upon root 2 root 2b upon pi into sine d. So it will be 0.9 sine d. Now for the fundamental value of RMS voltage, it is given that it is V0 equal to 110 volt and the original voltage is 220 volts. So let's put the values over in the last equation. So it will be equal to 110 into 0.9 into V. V equal to 220 volt, that is given in the problem statement. So 0.9 into 220 into sine D. So the distance will be 33.74 and the width of pulse is 2 times D, because it is mentioned in the waveform that the width is 2 times D. So let's put the value 2 times D, so it gives us the width of pulse, that is 67.5 degree. Okay. So up to this, if you have any queries or doubt regarding the session, you can ask me on my email ID. Thank you for watching.